Market update here on the 3rd, getting this out kind of late. Had some other stuff going on. 1% dip today, and yeah, it's looking pretty bearish right now. But I'm going to show you a few different things that are potentially bullish. So one thing is the relation of the 50 and 20-day moving average. As you can see here, earlier in the year, 20 crossed the 50. We dipped pretty hard on the big move in August, came across the 50 pretty hard, and then came back down and dipped below it again. And I would say the gap here is even farther than it was back in this sell-off. And I think there's a very good chance, based on that, that we are going to see the 20 cross the 50 one more time, or at least come up here and touch it. So I think we're going to need another bounce. I think midterms can be a catalyst. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think it can be a catalyst short term for possibly a bounce into OPEX. So that's kind of my base case right now. But there are two different ways you can look at the chart. So we have the clear ABC right here. So you can look at it two different ways, I think. You can look at this as being A, B, A, B, C. So that would complete basically A, B, C, 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 corrective wave at the very top. And then you can look at this as actually a 5-wave move. I don't really like it that much, but I'm going to go ahead and include it because it's probably the lesser of the two that I like, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 1. We get a second wave pullback. That was when Powell was speaking, and then we get the third wave down. Completed today at 368. Fourth wave bounce, ABC, 4. And then we should be looking for a fifth wave down. And that would take us to potentially all the way down to the June lows. So that's the first way you can look at it. And that's the lesser of the two that I like. But that's the first way you can look at it. And that would take us down to the June lows. The second way is still that this is, let's see, A, B, no, A, B, C, B. So it'd look like this, A, B, whoops. So A, B, and then you look at this as also a 5-wave move. So it's looking like this actually turned out to be the third wave. I thought we were going to be finished at 370, and it looks potentially like we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 either way, except for this would complete the overall B wave. So let me zoom out again. The first scenario would be the start of the 5-wave move down. So first scenario is like this. This is the top. This is 1. And we see a bounce to like, if we go to 363, we'd see a bounce to probably 375. And then you'd be looking for huge move down, bounce, and then lower. Except for that way would not allow this 20-day moving average on the daily time frame to get above the 50. On the 4-hour time frame, it actually is above it. But I think the daily chart is better to look at. So that's the first scenario right there. We finished at 363, bounce, 5-wave move down here, potentially all the way down to like 300. And then the more likely, in my opinion, right now, is that this is actually going to end up being the B wave. So if this is A, you get B wave down here, and then we would get a C wave probably after the elections ended. And that would take it, if we go to 363, we would probably get a move up to about 405 still, probably by OPEX. So that would be pretty, that'd be a bullish move here in the next couple of weeks. And that would retrace us all the way back to right past the 0.61 fib. And then we could think about starting a either third wave or a C wave. So it could just be A, and then we have B up here. And then after 405, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a few different possibilities. I'm leaning towards this one the most. So we get A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here to the low 300s, rather than A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we got a bounce in here still. We still got another bounce to about 405. That's what I'm going with as the most likely, but I can't rule out the other one. And I don't really like this 5-wave move again, but SPY's been doing that through this whole dip. The 5-wave moves sometimes look like they're corrective. So we got to count that one in there as well. The VIX, and I'm going to show you the Apple chart though, that I'll show you here in just a second. The VIX is being really weird, and I guess no one really has a good theory on it, but it is just consolidating. If I were to guess, I would think that it's just waiting for the elections. So it's just kind of where we have a risk event coming up, and that is the elections, depending on how the outcomes come. I would think that if the Democrats held the House and nothing changes, that would be pretty bearish. If the Democrats sweep, that would be extremely bearish. And I think that if Republicans win the House and the Senate, that will be really bullish. And so I think that might be the best possibility for us to get a bounce up to 405. So the VIX, not really going to go over it. Basically still consolidating. Can still go lower, bounce, go lower, or just go up to 40. Kind of depends on what happens. The last chart I'll show you is Apple. This is the one that actually makes me more worried than anything, because if we zoom out here on the daily time frame, we have ABC labeled as A, same as SPY basically. Then we have B, and then this is a 5-wave move, so 1 or A. And then this move right here is either B or 2. And then right here, this move down, let's zoom in now. And this Apple move looks impulsive. It's the exact same structure as SPY, but using our parallel lines, it actually works out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 works out perfectly. Fourth wave does not go into the first wave. That's a first wave, second wave. And then this looks like a third wave to me. Let me zoom in here again. It's starting, looks like it's starting a 5th wave. So potential move all the way down to move down to 133, maybe low 130s. Would be the target for this 5th wave. And so that's either going to be, let me zoom out here now. So same thing as SPY, ABC move. The question is actually on this one I'd probably look at it like A, B, C, potentially A, B, C right here. The thing is that would go past the very bottom of here. So I don't know, it's kind of tricky because the Apple chart is showing that it's ready to start this 5-wave move unless this actually is an expanded flat. There's so many different ways this can play out, but if it's an expanded flat, that would be perfect for it to come down here to 132, 133, and that would look like this overall, A, B, and then C down here. And that would be an overall B wave though. Whoops. So basically on Apple, it's the exact same thing. We're waiting for this 5-wave move to finish, and then we're going to see if this ends up being an expanded flat, then my targets would be 158 all the way up to 167 for an expanded flat. And if we zoom out here, that would just take us up here to basically the top of the second wave. So that's possible too. So we have A, B, C, B, and then we get a pop here, or we have A, B, C, and this is actually the end of it, and then we're getting a 5-wave move. It actually ends right here. It would be A, B, C, and then a move down here. The more I look at this actually though, it kind of does look like an expanded flat. So looking at this a little bit more, I think this could be an expanded flat, and that would be really bullish, catch a lot of people off guard, but I'm not going to rule out that this 5-wave move is not the start of the first wave. We get a bounce like this as well, and then we go down to my target for Apple. If this is a 5-wave move starting right now, would be 110. Based on looking at fibs and everything like that, if we zoom out here on the 4-hour time frame, 110 is right in this area right here. At 110, based on this 5-wave move, the market bottoms. That's a 22% move from here, from 140, and the market bottoms from there. 22% from 370 on SPY is like 295. So you can see Apple and SPY basically move the same for the most part. So that's kind of what I think on Apple. It's the exact same thing. Could be an expanded flat or a 5-wave move started. Same thing on SPY. It's either A, B, C, or it's A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I'll look at the dollar real quick. And one more thing after I look at the dollar. So the dollar is still doing what I said yesterday's video. This is a B wave. A, B, C. Potentially going to the 1.61 fib. Actually hit it today. That's like a perfect ABC move right there, I think. Yeah, it looks like ABC to me. So I would be looking for the dollar to come down. I'm still going to say it's going to come down. And I'm still leaning towards the midterm bounce. Something's going to happen with the midterms. And maybe tomorrow is the beginning. Actually, we got to hit down a little bit lower. After a little bit lower, we bounce into midterms next week is my scenario that I'm looking at the most. And the one thing you got to realize too, when we finish this 5-wave move, how are you going to know the difference between this or a second wave? This should be impulsive, should be a 5-wave move. If this is a first wave and a second wave, it's corrective. So if you see a corrective wave here, that's just coming back into like 375 to 380, then you know it's most likely going to be a third wave down. You see an impulsive, you know it's probably going to be a C wave. So that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll put out an update tomorrow. Have a good night.